Hello, and welcome back as I send another team down to bicker and battle with each other like the cast of a TLC reality show in Perfidious Pete Plays Darkest Dungeon. Last episode, our team lost their shit a little bit. Like the dance moms when Abby Lee decides that, no, I'm sorry, you will not be getting a solo this week. Then it all comes crashing down and they just start screaming at each other and you're just waiting for them to start pulling out the knives and get stabby. But disappointingly, they never, ever do. Just like when Abby told what's-her-name that she was trying to plie and doing it wrong. Pete, talking a lot about dance moms. Is this something that you watch periodically? I've seen it a time or two, and I gotta say, every time I see it, I can't look away from it. It's like a train wreck. It's a god-awful nightmare, and I can't bring myself to not look at it. I know it's going to haunt me. I know it's going to scar me emotionally. I know they're glorifying some of the most despicable people who have ever existed. And yet, I can't look away. I can't look away. Mostly because it just makes me unbelievably infuriated, and I just want to go to Ohio or wherever the hell Abby Lee Dance Studios is. Actually, I think it's in Pittsburgh. And punch them. I just want to walk around and punch all of them right in the throat. Just like, I don't want, no grievous bodily harm. Just one solid punch to the throat. Because they all deserve it. Trying to live vicariously through your children and recapture the glory that you never managed to achieve. No, don't treat your children like that. It's a form of abuse. Stop it. I guess that's why that organization of dance instructors kicked Abby Lee out for being a miserable twat. She got ejected, yeah. She's also going to jail because she created a bunch of secret bank accounts and apparently was hiding assets from the IRS, which is possibly one of the most monumentally stupid things you as a person could ever do. Don't mess with the IRS, man. It's never going to end well. I really want this hero's ring, but we don't have a team that can kill the necromancer. Plus 15 virtue chance is quite good. Quite good. Do I want to go fight a boss in the Weald? No, but what is this? It's real good, is what it is. Ethereal Crucifix. That's excellent. So new trinkets apparently have been added because we're seeing some stuff we've never seen before. I really, really, really want this. 25% bonus damage versus Eldritch. A lot of stuff in the Darkest Dungeon are Eldritch monsters. Also, 6D. We got to go kill the Weisentag. We can't not do this. And you know what? I think we've got a team that's strong enough to take it down. We can take Lori Grimes. Old Mod Flanders, grab Hoban Washburn and hope he doesn't get a spear driven through his chest, and take a gravedigger who is no doubt fucking doomed to dig their own grave and then fall into it. How'd you die? I was digging a grave, and then I fell into my own open grave, and it killed me. Well, that seems about appropriate. We've had just terrible luck with our gravediggers, but you know what? Maybe we're due. Maybe we're due for one gravedigger to buck the odds and come back from a mission they have no business coming back from in one piece. Bonus healing received, bonus stress healed. They take extra stress, but they get more stress healing. That one is a bit of a wash. I don't dislike the Ancestor Scroll. It's actually pretty good. Barristan's Head's not great. Dismiss's Head is nice just for the bonus damage, but the stress penalty on that is enormous. Do we have anything that gives us a, minus stress? Are we rocking a minus stress treatment? We might pair those up. Damage versus beasts. We are going to be fighting some beasts if we go down into the Weald. I really want that trinket. Do we have anything that's minus stress, though? I just want something that it can do nothing but give it... Don't we have, a worry stone? Critical stone. Don't we have, a worry stone? I thought we had a worry stone. What happened to our worry stone? I was almost positive we had a worry stone somewhere. Bloodied Fetish, Beast Slayer's Ring, Damage Stone. I mean, the Damage Stone is not bad, although it does tank our dodge, but the dodge here is not fantastic anyway, and a Beast Slayer's Ring would also tank our dodge. We could just go in doing catastrophic damage to beasts. The problem is the Weisentag is not one. We could also just take it, you know what, let's just take a Crescendo box. We're going to give that to Dwayne, or Hoburn, rather. I'm sorry, Hicks is our other. Yeah, I apologize. I shouldn't have called you Dwayne. Feather Crystal, bonus speed, bonus dodge, not terrible. I wouldn't mind having something that gives us a little bonus damage for our Gravedigger as well. Speaking of which, one other thing I want to check before we go committing to this. Our Gravedigger has, the appropriate skills, right? You're all skilled up there, Jimmy the Gravedigger, Sophia, before you stagger out of the barn? Yeah, I'm glad we checked, because you're absolutely not. So we're going to give you that. I want flashing daggers. I'm tempted to maybe take... You know what? I'm going to take poison darts. Do I want lunge? Do I want shadow fade? Do I want toxin trickery? Toxin trickery is pretty good. Let's take that. And also, we need to equip Sophia's skills here just so she has the right ones going in. Yeah, because she was all jacked up. So we want Pick to the Face at level 3. We want our flashing daggers. We want a thrown dagger. We're going to go with toxin trickery until it's time to fight the hag, at which point I think I may switch. 4 points of bleed damage. We could stack that with Lori Grimes' action to be getting some catastrophic bleeds off. Or rather, blights, because these are both blights. Is the hag blight resistant, though? She's in the warrens. It seems like she might be. I'm going to roll with toxin trickery for now, because it cures blights and bleeds. I like that better, just for the setup. Maud, you also need skills. So we're going to be blowing a little coin here. Maud Flanders could use a little bit of buffing up. Let's get her buff. Wash, I'm assuming you're then in the same boat. Yep, same boat. All right, let's get you taken care of. And Grimes, what about you? Lori Grimes is good, actually. She's good. First time anybody said that, because goddamn, what a miserable, unlikable character Lori Grimes was. It's just, she's hard to love. She's the female Walter White. Oh, Pete, Breaking Bad's a great show. You know, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I just couldn't. It's not that I think Breaking Bad was a bad show. I don't. I genuinely think it did some very intriguing things from a storytelling standpoint. It's just, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I watched like the first season and then like most of the second season. And just, there's nobody to root for. There's nobody to root for, and I just couldn't bring myself to finish it. Everyone is just a miserable, unlikable dickbag. All of the characters are just horrible people. There's no one to root for. I can't watch something where there's nobody to root for. I just can't. So we got bonus speed, bonus damage, bonus stress. I'm thinking about maybe taking the critical stone. It would put our crit at 6%, which is not huge. Bonus protection for -1 speed would also be a respectable trade. Stun resistance, eh. You know what? Warrior's Cap would not be bad either. Or, alternatively, we could go for a Dodge Stone. You know, let's just go for the Dodge Stone. What's our Grave Robber going to be taking? Grave Robber, Grave Digger, Grave something. We're going to give them the Feather Crystal to give them a big bonus to dodge, and then I think also just the Lucky Talisman. That gives us a huge dodge bonus and a massive speed bonus, which should let us have no trouble getting off first. Plus 40... You know what? If we are going to go with Blight for the hag... What if we do this instead? It does lower our dodge, which is bad, but we're still going to have bonus accuracy and an extra 10 dodge. And that'll let us really stack blights on the hag. I don't care how resistant she is. We're going to make them stick. We're taking the Blasphemous Vial for sure, and I think we just go with the Blight Amulet. That's got you sorted. And then for our healer, nothing fancy here. We're just going to go with the good old Vestal's Healing Scroll and Junia's Head. We're taking an extra 10% stress, not the end of the world. We lose our stun skill chance, but I don't really use the Vestal stuns. And in return for that, we give up 3 speed and get a truckload of healing. So that's our trinkets. We're sorted. Suck it, Abby Lee. I can plie all I want. You can't tell me how to live my life, Abby. You can't tell me how to live my life, especially when you're going to be in federal prison for violating tax laws. Let's get our provisions and get to work. Now, this should be, in theory, a relatively short mission because, again... It is a boss bash, so we know where we're going to go. Gravedigger comes with a free shovel. I'm only going to take 3. Try and save a little cash. We did spend a lot on skills. 1 vial anti-venoms, grab a couple bandages, 2 medicinal herbs, 1 key, 1... we already have a holy water. And then torches, just our standardized 14 for a medium dungeon. We're good to go.
I had collected many rare and elusive volumes on ancient herbal.
Yeah, well, that Eldritch Slaying trinket there that gives us 25% extra damage against Eldritch monsters, I really, really want, Mr. Ancestor, because that thing will do fantastic work for us in the Darkest Dungeon itself. That's a big buff, because almost everything in the Darkest Dungeon is Eldritch. Ancestor's Memoirs. Let's do this. Well, okay, I mean, the hag's right here. We know where she's at. This is a very sort of suboptimal dungeon layout for us, though. It's a very subtle thing, but, you know, the differentiation in the hallways with the extra tile and the bends and curves really adds a lot to Darkest Dungeon. I mean, this is a very subtle design change, but despite its subtlety, it does bring a lot to the gameplay. I'm going to go for a stun on the Rabid Gnasher. Just because I think Hoban Washburn can beat these guys on a speed roll, and then we can kill one with the Jacques, maybe both with the Jacques before they get a chance to go. And that's exactly the way... Well, okay. It's most of the way it's going to go down. Sophia's going to take a little bump in the night for 4. We could patch that up, or alternatively, we could go for the kill. I'm going to go for the kill. There it is. I don't want to be getting bit by one of those dogs and catching a case of the rabies. No rabies here. Not going to happen. So you take a pick to the face. Let's just end this fight. We don't have reasonable amounts of stress, or at least we don't have enough stress that we want to bother trying to farm extra stress relief. Just a bad value proposition. What if we get a critical? Those guys do occasionally score the luckier than average hit. It just seemed like the better bet is to take the kill and maybe hope we get a bonus stress relief for killing the dude. We didn't, but... So we don't have to go in any of these directions. Although, man, we got a really thick scout there. So hallway fights all over here. Room battles with treasure. We're not going to go that way because I'm not going to... I may backtrack. We can always double back once the wizened hag is dead. But until the wizened hag is dead, seems like a bad value proposition. We'll throw some medicinal herbs in this old rotting corpse. Pick up a little extra food. And you know what? Let's just eat some. There we go. And that's got our 4 health back. So we're good. Burn a torch. Continue on our merry way. We got scouting, so we're going to be fighting a room battle in here. And then we've got another... We got, you know, one hallway battle before we're into the open ground. Bunch of rabbit gnashers, who we have surprised, which is extraordinarily dangerous, actually. Okay, some reasonable aggregate damage from Sophia. We definitely want to go for the stun here. Nice work. Lori is... She's doing work back there. She's doing work. The Jacques has netted us the kill and got us halfway home on one other target. And there's my girl, Maud Flanders, dropping the Doom Bolt of Lightning to finish a task. These guys are going to be stunned. They likely will beat us on speed rolls, so they're probably going to be leading things off. Oh, nope, Gravedigger. The pick to the face. There it is. The kill. Take that, Abby Lee. Oh, you thought Dance Moms was going to be the thing that kept you out of prison. Nope. Here comes the Rabid Rush. This man does have fatal damage, so we will not be doing anything else to him. A little bit of a bleed. Let's go for some stress relief. We got 14 critical stress heal. That's going to get rid of most of that. I think we'll go for a little AoE Divine Comfort. And we did manage to win the stress roll. Here you go. Toxin Trickery. Let's get rid of that bleed. Again, this man is dead, so we don't need to do anything to him. You're bleeding. You got Blight 5. Yep. Okay. We're just going to heal this up. And we'll be in perfect shape. Drop dead. Thank you. How great would it be if you could tell somebody to drop dead and they just did it? Wouldn't that make you a serial killer, Pete? Okay, yeah, probably. I would wind up killing a lot of people. Some of them probably inadvertently, but still, you know, it would be sort of a nice power to have. It'd be, you know, you just have to come at it Peter Parker style. With great power comes great responsibility. You just got to be careful who you tell to drop dead, because they'll do it. More scouting. Well, we know exactly what lies between us and the end of our journey here. I do want to burn a torch before we get into this hallway fight. 77 is good enough. We will lose a tick. We're down to 70, so not perfect light, but still high enough. Debating on how I want to handle this. We could go for a stun here, but really I think we're better off to just... Let's try and get some damage working. I'm going to pick to the face. And then we go for the Jacques, and maybe we can get this man to drop dead from initial damage. And we got one target now. Actually, you know what? We're not going to hit him because he beat us on a speed roll for the whiff. Good work, by the way. Legitimately, though, I appreciate it. The double whiff. And we're definitely not going to hit that man now because he has fatal damage. There's no need to pile on. Halfway home. I think we'll just undo the damage we took. Nice critical! A little bit of bonus stress relief. We're going to undo that blanket fire damage. And we're going to try to throw a knife in that man's heart. Yeah, here comes the blanket fire again. We can undo it. It's fine. A little bit of debuff for us. Not the end of the world. We're going to go for the fatal damage, which that has achieved. If the blight sticks, it did. You done, son. Who got stress? Hey, who got stress over here? You got some stress? Take it. You know, we'll take a little Hoban Washburn day. You're going to do this little bit he does about the dinosaurs coming to a new land. It'd be like, oh, well, then that's what's the name of this land? Oh, you know, we'll call it this land. It's a good land. We call it this land. I think we should call it your grave because Joss Whedon hates his fans. Little pick to the face there. I don't believe that about Joss Whedon, by the way. He doesn't hate his fans. Just, you know, I'm a little salty about the fact that he killed Wash. I'm never going to get over it, really. I wouldn't say I'm a little salty. I'm actually inconsolable. There was a reason other than the fact that he just decided to murder him, though. There were some contract issues that actually motivated that on-screen death, but I don't care. You can work around a contract. So we could take the trap disarm for guaranteed stress. Considering we only have 1 stress, let's just try and avoid any damage or taking any additional stress for that. Pack's already been looted. We got a pretty open run to the boss. Do we want to camp early or do we want to camp late then becomes the question. Because what we could do is camp here. Get our light levels back up without burning any torches. Have some buffs. Go into the next... Yeah, you know what? No. There's a reason I'm not going to do this, and the reason is simple. I don't want to have to backtrack all this way to go fight a bunch of room fights. Plus, we don't know what kind of condition we're going to be in once we have fought the hag. Let's just get this over with. This is not really a terribly dangerous fight, especially now that we have surprised the enemy. So how do we want to handle it? I think very similarly to how we handled it last time. You get a big bot of poison in the face. Then you get hit with a pick to the face. Then we go for the Jacques. You now have fatal damage for certain, and then we're going to drop a bolt of lightning on this man. The 3 damage from the bolt of lightning was a little less than I had hoped for, to be honest. This guy's not going to get a turn. He already has fatal damage. Here comes the shank. We're going to take 8 out of that. No big deal. Resisted to bleed. We could heal that pretty easily. And here comes the blanket fire. The dodge, though. Man, we got some real dank dodges working. They should call it dankest dodges. This man has 6 health. We're going to have to hit him. That means we wasted our blight effectively. But that's okay, because Hoban Washburn was there to clean it up and crush you by justice. Oh, you got crushed by justice, son? Get justice. More food. Well, I mean, what else are we going to do with these medicinal herbs? We might as well take the food. 8 food. You can just search beast carcasses. Sometimes they have treasure. Could have done that, Pete. Yeah, I could have, but take the food. Do I want to camp before I fight the hag? Let's look at our camping abilities. Stand tall. Zealous vigil. Pep talk. None of those things are especially useful. Pep talk, snuff box, gallows humor, pilfer. We're not really seeing a lot of bonuses here. It's almost as if we would be better to do this after. Yeah, we can't really get any bonuses. We could give somebody 10 bonus accuracy and 10 bonus dodge, and then they'd probably just, you know what? I'm going to camp afterwards. I don't see the advantage of camping first here. If we had camping buffs, which typically you want to try and engineer before you go fight a boss, Pete, you dumbass. You will not get those buffs, jackass. And you're right, I'm not going to get those buffs. But in this case, we don't have any buffs to give, and I'm not sure we would have. I'm not sure. Oh, no, do not use our last shovel here. There's a barricade between us and the boss. Somebody can just dig the grave. I'm thinking the grave digger, because this is sort of her bit. It's not the healthiest of professions. She resisted the disease, though, because, you know, grave diggers spend a lot of time digging around in graves. You're going to catch, you know, a disease or two. And that's where her immunity comes from. She'd be like, I can't catch these diseases. I already have all of them. What are you going to do? No point wearing a raincoat when you're already wet. How many times can I get hepatitis C? Turns out just the once. Once you got it, you got it. I'm going in at max light. It's not like we can surprise the hag, but still, it'll help from the stress department. Let's see who's going into the pot. Well, we're going to get some blight damage off on the hag first, which is fantastic. Just get that started. We're going to start... I forgot to switch skills on our gravedigger, so that's real bad. Maud Flanders is into the pot. Ideally, you know what? Maud Flanders is sort of the ideal candidate, actually, to be in the pot. I really wish I had gotten the blight damage, though. Maud could be dropping lightning bolts on her, but overall, it's probably fine. Hoban Washburn can hit the pot and knock her loose next turn. Meanwhile, we're going to take some blight damage on here. Meat Tenderizer coming out. Little bit of AoE damage, nothing to be worried about. We got pulverized, you know, just a little bit. That's fine. We're going to stack some more blight on the old hag. There you go. 10 damage per for 3 rounds. I love Plague Doctors against bosses, especially bosses that get multiple actions like the hag. When she's taking 2 actions around, that's just extra damage every single time we hit her. Would have loved to have gotten more than 5 out of that. And I think it's time to let our Vestal out of the pot here. A bunch of people are seasoned to perfection. It's basically just a stress attack, so not really... Oh, that's a debuff, huh? Oh, like damage penalty. Okay, that's kind of shitty. We did get our Vestal out of the pot. She's not going to be able to heal herself, but it doesn't matter because all of our heavy hitters are still back here doing work. And I believe that is fatal damage. We got 10 damage per ticking. Yep, she's fatal right now. Sophia with the dodging. Nobody goes into the pot on our watch. We can't really do anything with that, so let's just back up. We can back up where we can get a divine comfort out of this. Comes the meat tenderizer. Nothing to worry about. And no reason to hit the pot here. I guess we'll just go for stress relief. Pete, are you really taking a stress relief attack in a boss fight? Yeah, it turns out I am, because the hag's already dead. She just doesn't know it yet. Feel free to win a speed roll and drop dead, bitch. Or just get knifed in the heart. That'll work too. And there we go. So, Protection Stone is not great, and a Disease Charm is basically worthless. Let's drink this holy water. We'll take those. We're going to continue adventuring because I really feel like we should camp. We have an abundance of food, a tiny bit of stress. Man, we should really just go deeper into the dungeon, though. We've got all of this food. The problem is torches. It would take us more than 4 torches just to backtrack. Now, somebody out there is saying, you know, Pete, you could camp. And you're right, we could camp. Like in this room, say. That's a long way to walk in the dark, though. What about the Shambler? Is this team are they well healed to deal with the Shambler? It just seems like a bad risk. We got what we came for, which was the only reason we came to fight this boss at all, actually, was for the Eldritch Trinket, and we've got it. So, you know what? This is one case where I think maybe discretion is going to be the better part of valor. I'm not pushing my luck on this one. We're good. Give me the Zealous Vigil so we don't have to worry about nighttime ambush. Actually, that prevents nighttime ambush at a cost of 4. Oh, well, I guess it's the only one we have. All right, so first thing, no nighttime ambushes. Then let's do Pilfer, which gives us 1 random supply item. Picked up a pointless key. Anybody got a disease? Anybody diseased? We got the cure! You're a disease. Lloyd Grimes is the cure. Especially if that disease is, you know, complications of pregnancy. I'm the cure and it's death. Here. Take some experimental vapors. We'll get you healed back to full. We don't need a cure. There's no reason to pep top. We could snuff box for no particular purpose. Might as well pointlessly bless you. And then we'll all just sleep. And that's it. You're ready for battle. Let them come. Battle's over there, Hoburn Washburn. I know you're excited to go face off against the Reavers, but in this case, they don't need to be faced off against. We're done. Just go home. And take our Eldritch kicking ass trinket here and whip the shit out of some people. It has big bleed resist too, which is also going to be really good for the Darkest Dungeon. A lot of bleed attacks in there. How do we do cash-wise? Honestly, from a cash perspective, we did not do fantastic, but we did pick up 10 total deeds, which is very nice. We probably spent more than we made on that one, so we're operating at a loss. But hey, we got a couple people up to level 3, which is good, because now Lori Grimes is going to have to go in for stress relief. We cannot abide the yips. Did pick up Eldritch Slayer, though, which would be nice if she were anything other than a Plague Doctor. Well, let's take you in to get rid of the yips then, because those got to go. There are about 3 quirks in this game that I always want to get rid of, and the yips is, oddly enough, one of those 3. The other ones are curious, and, what is it? What's the other thing that makes you touch stuff that I don't want to be touched? One of them is curious. I forget what the other one is. Like, yeah, I forget. Lori Grimes, get rid of the yips before it gets locked in and costs a fortune. Although, as far as the costing a fortune thing goes, sort of already covered. None of these other guys need stress relief. We're good. Sophia didn't quite make rank 3, but she got pretty close. We can probably fiddle her in with a lower level group just to bump her up. Later on. When? Later on. Sort these by level. I need Hicks to get his stress relief, but he will only flagellate for stress relief. And the goddamn caretaker won't leave the fucking penance hall. Would you get out of there, you miserable piece of shit? Dwayne Hicks, I want to get him back in the dungeon and you're hogging the road. The problem is we got Hicks at level 3 and we don't have a team of level 4 troopers yet to keep all together. We want, in that team, we want a Crusader. There's supposed to be a Crusader in a part of this team and there ain't while Dwayne Hicks is out of commission. We could have Wash go in there, but we got to find a way to power level him up. He doesn't really have a good crew of people to run with because we just got the, well, you know, Mod Flanders. Maybe we can make something happen with that. In fact, I think we'll try and make something happen with that, but that's going to have to be next episode. Got a bumper crop staring at us, which means all our provisions are free. We can spend a little cash. The Grant Wood family is down there with their prize pig, who I have to assume is named Wilbur because they're not creative enough to come up with a more intriguing name for a pig than Wilbur. So you know what? That'll do, pig. That'll do. And that was me talking to myself because this episode is over. That'll do, Pete. That'll do. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more self-deprecation and calling myself a pig, I consider my subscribing as well. Do that on a pretty regular basis because, you know, I could lose some weight. Right now, though, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.